Hello and welcome back to the 10 Pint Podcast. We're here with me, Lucas, Normal and Beefing.
Right, lad.
And today we are here with Sean and Nick, the founders of Shit Indie Disco. So we know we'll get started off with what is Shit Indie Disco for anyone that doesn't know.
Where'd you start? Oh God, well, it was meant to be just an indie night that played like old stuff from like the 2008 sort of era.
Yeah.
Indie that like sort of got described as landfill indie at one point, and that was all it was ever meant to be. It was meant to be one night for our mates to sort of enjoy this music. And it's slowly turned into night now where like it's 5 different rooms, so it's not just indie anymore. And it's like there's a hip hop room, there's a disco room, there's a room that plays Taylor Swift at 12 o'clock, an emo room, an emo room now as well. Yeah. So it's a night that's on every Thursday in the Electric anyway, sort of what it is now, like in its most basic form.
What year did it start?
I think it was 6 years ago now, 5 or 6 years. It keeps coming up on like Facebook memories, like you know, us putting our we started out putting like these lost pets posters around town, like so it was like lost pet, and it was like at pitch of Alex Turner, and it was like last seen 2006 at the lead stage or whatever. So we keep seeing it and like, I remember that, and the mistakes we made along the way, and it's like every day there's a constant reminder of another mistake we've made that we're still making, to be honest. Like not putting dates on posters or putting the wrong date on posters. Yeah. So yeah, about five or 6 years ago now.
2015.
Yeah, 2015. Yeah.
Out there.
So what sort of made you start it? Then like where did the idea?
It's a mad idea, like.
But basically, like we always used to go to indie clubs around town, and like they were Boston. It was where like we grew up in indie clubs, you know what I mean? And then like they sort of like just either became like too cool, and like if you went and asked even for say Oasis Wonderwall, it was like, no, we don't play Oasis
like
Wonderwall.
Too far down.
Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah,
and it was just like there was nowhere fun, there was nowhere like to thingy. So we were like,
I think places just closed. Obviously, Labato was like the place we always used to go, and that turned into like flats or something, and like a restaurant. So it was like that was almost the last place we ever got a chance to like go to. And then after that, people sort of stopped almost like playing indie. So we were like, where do we go, or where can we go to listen to that music that we sort of used to start listening to? And then so we just like used to make a playlist. That's all it was. Just like this playlist that we just kept on like talking about how they're running out, adding songs to this playlist. And then we would piss one night in Berlin, and we just listened to this playlist and we're like, should we just message someone? Just message our mates and say, can we try and get into Kitchen Street or something? Maybe put on like a night for 100 people, something like that. And he said, I'll speak to the manager. And we like, he spoke to him and said, yeah, go on. He's giving you the green light to go ahead, put a night on. Didn't expect anything, like a few mates to turn up. And it sort of went from there.
Did all right, didn't it? Again, a lot of mistakes. Half the night was me stood on the door with the float. We had mates taking over. We had Sean DJing, up me dancing. We never DJ'd in our life, you know what I mean? So it was all corners, like, but it's
playing
sort
off
of
Spotify, just like what do we do?
It's mad, like it went from that, and like obviously I seen a video on your Instagram today, and it's like a big queue for the other night. Like it's fucking massive now, like innit? It's a fair few ones are going each Thursday.
Like, like the Thursday again, like was just like one of our mates said there was a space opening on Arts Club or in Arts Club on a Thursday, and just like, do you want to put on for like students on a Thursday? And naively, like we just didn't know what the student scene was like in town. It seemed everyone just used to go to Hebe's next door, so they'd have a massive queue, and we'd just be outside offering free entry, pizza for people to get in, free pizza, like cheap drinks, and no one was coming in. There was like 10 people on the first night we did it, and we just like, this is never gonna work. And slowly, like we just had like a bit of a crowd that used to come every week. And then it just sort of built from there, really, like the Thursdays, didn't it? And just sort of and
then we moved to Electric, and we could like have another room upstairs that played a bit more like, you know, your dance chart sort of stuff. So and then it was like people were coming to both rooms then. And then it was like a third room, and it just sort of went from there, like, just wherever Electric can find a space for us, we tend to open another room for in there, like.
There's never a point where, like, as you said then, not many people were going. You thought, nah, this isn't working, let's just give it or something.
Yeah, nearly like packed it in so many times. Like, we'd just be driving home from there, and we'd just be like, we lost a couple of £100 there tonight, like, I'm not doing it again. And we'd have like these big arguments and just go like, all right, we'll do it again next week just to see what it's like. We'll do like a bit of a special or something. We didn't really have much else that we we weren't really working on at the time, so we just like that was our job to just like trying to build that. But
my dad would pick us up like at 4 in the morning, and it'd be like, so we'd save us like 20 quid in a taxi, and he'd be like, all right, we might have just about broken even there with my dad picking us up, so we might be able to do next week, but without him doing it, we probably wouldn't have carried on. Like, it's a defo would have happened a few times. It's just like
2 years of just thinking this is going to be the last one. This will be the last one.
Fair play to you for sticking with it though. It's like now, like it's very popular, like, isn't it?
Yeah, it was just a crowd. It was always like a nice crowd, and it was like, you know, if it wasn't nice doing it, then it wouldn't have been nice sticking with it. But it was like quite a nice Thursday night, you know what I mean? And it sort of just kept us out and us a bit in the loop with like new music and stuff like that. So yeah, it was good. It was enjoyable as well, even if we were losing a bit of money. But you know,
When did it become like? When did it start doing well? Did that just happen like 1 week and then?
It seemed to, didn't it?
I'd say it was maybe like the second year of Arts Club, and like we did the loft in Arts Club for like freshers, and it was like the week after that we were still up in the loft, and the week after that we were in the loft, and it was like we sort of had it as a bit of a regular then, sort
almost
of
like a
thing.
mosh pit going on. I think at one point we were like, "Oh, this is a bit mad seeing this sort of happening." And then from there, it just sort of started building, didn't it? Like I thought, all right, we might be onto something.
What would you say is the maddest thing you've seen at shit indie disco? Because I've been a few times and I've seen a few sites like...
there's all kinds, isn't there? Yeah. And the stuff you see on the signs are probably the stuff that we don't see. Yeah. So, you know, quite often there are like... I mean, mate got fingered last week or whatever, you know. You see that quite a bit. And yeah, there was... At Boxing Night this year, we did see... a bit of fingering and stuff. You know, I think the bouncers were straight over for it, like, but and yeah, just all the like daft stuff. I remember someone once drank out of a shoe that they found on the floor, like, and it was just like, oh, come on. Well, it's not always that scatty, you know what I mean? We did also at quite early days, this was in Kitchen Street. We got our mate on like a dinghy to like throw that out and almost crowd surf. But that didn't really work, and he just fell off after about 2 people and broke his front tooth. Like, it's just stuff like that, really.
I think from where we are, we probably miss most of like the horrible stuff that's going on.
Where are you? Like, so are you always there?
Yeah. At the minute, we're like sort of behind that video wall in Electric.
Yeah.
And at Arts Club, we used to be sort of a bit more on like the stage. So we never used to like see what was going on in like the crowd and stuff.
Don't want to see
what's going on.
Sort of like a little hatch, isn't it? You'll see loads of signs coming to it.
Just come to the hatch and you'll see us in there, like in the dark, probably.
Where did that idea come from with the signs? Because you don't really see that anywhere else.
I know. It was, you know what, we just used to have one saying like everyone get on shoulders or something like that. That was it. And then someone said, can you write like happy birthday on it?
Yeah.
And then someone was like, can you write another thing? And then the week after, people were like, oh, can I get one of them signs? And then from there, it was just like, oh, how many of them signs? We got like 20 signs, then 50 signs, and now we've got like 100 signs per week. And if you don't have them, like, there was a time we found the other week at Amazon, we just saying there's no signs left. We're like, what are we going to do if like we turn on the people, there's no signs for people?
We were expecting a proper riot on our hands. We turned up without signs, like, and then we thought we ordered some and they turned up and they were about the size like postcards. I'm like, shit, what's happening here? But yeah, every week we sort of got them now, like, just
the same weeks as well, like, probably 10 people asked for the same signs. Remember that, like, what was it? Spooner leads to Forkham. And honestly, that weekend in Electric was just like, can I get a sign? You're like, yeah. What do you want? Can I get Spooner leads to Forkham? You're like, yeah, right. And in the end, it's just like 10 people asking for them signs. Certain weeks, like, something very popular comes out. If it's like a meme or something like that,
Like you see them signs everywhere, though, don't you? Like uni windows and that. Remember when our mate Matty, he took all the way back to home, he did, you lads? Sure, he had it on his window, like Everton Magic or something like that. This is a bit of a mad question, right? Have you ever heard of like like a baby coming from shit indie, or like someone getting married or meeting. Like no, like someone's met at shit indie and then they've had a kid or like got married.
We've definitely got a few people. I don't know if there's been any managers.
Reggie probably. Reggie just got engaged and he's had a baby. Like I don't think the baby was conceived at shit indie. Like I don't think it was had at shit indie.
We have got a few people because we've been going for quite a while now. We have got a few people who met at shit indie who are now sort of like. They've just got like normalist jobs as well, or still sort of DJ, and you're seeing them like growing up, getting houses, like 2 teachers and stuff, and then I look back and go like, I'm going like, they used to go to that night, and they're like,
you know what happened that
night.
Yeah, so we haven't quite had any. We haven't had any weddings from it yet, have we?
No.
As such,
we always say like we would DJ if like someone who met at shit indie,
Yeah.
and they want us to DJ at their wedding. We're like, yeah, go on then.
if they want, we also get asked. We've been asked for a few weddings, but we're not responsible enough to turn up and like we just ruin someone's day. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Like
funerals and
you
everything.
know what we do? We got asked on Twitter.
I don't know what sound you get like.
Someone on Twitter messaged and just said, "Do you do funerals?" You're like, oh, I don't think so.
Imagine that.
Yeah. It would have been a tough one. Like, I don't know who it was. No. Yeah. Best just stay away from that one for now.
Just be playing Dry Your Eyes by the streets the whole time. What I'd just say, like, the most requested song is, which is good.
You know what I'd say? I'd say it's still not 19 forever.
Yeah,
it seems to have been like a shit indie anthem from
Yeah.
like early Arts Club days, and it seems to have just stuck. And it still seems like with birthdays and stuff, like pretty much like a lot of people who come whose birthday it is, they'll ask for it, like whether they're turning 19 or whether they're turning 21, whatever. So it seems to be particularly asked, And then they change quite a bit. Like at the moment, we're getting loads of Sam Fenders and stuff, like. But you know, throughout, it's probably.
And artists have always just been popular, like.
I associate artists with.
Yeah. We're doing like the annual, whatever people say. I'm not talking not this week, and I think that's been like 6 years. Pretty much apart from the COVID year of just doing that album in full, like. So,
I reckon they're the best like nights.
That's
the album.
So
You know what you're going for.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can remember for my 19th birthday, just before COVID, just done the Tame Impala.
It was a boss one. That I really liked it.
We really saw what to expect. We just got asked loads of times. People were saying, "Please do a Tame Impala one." We weren't sure it was going to be like too slow or like, but yeah, we just did the 10 songs, didn't we? And it seemed to go off alright, I think. Anyway, like,
I reckon they're a mad band. They're never anyone's like favourite band,
know,
but everyone knows who they are.
Yeah, you're right. You know, and knows like all the songs somehow and all that. Like, but yeah, as you say, the albums in full are always like always go off.
It seems like at Halloween, always like do the artist's favourite worst nightmare as well. Yeah, it seems to be alright.
It does.
Do you know what song I proper associate shit into? You know, to Henrietta by the Fratellis.
Yeah,
I don't know how I proper associate that with shit.
I think someone did say the other week, like, shit indie, like, gonna update the playlist for the last, like, 5 years or something, and, like, even the bar staff in Electric are like, are you gonna be, like, playing the same song again? And, like, yeah, probably, like, because if we don't play something like Henrietta, like 1 week we might decide to leave it out, and then we'll usually get like a review and going like, why didn't you play Henrietta? So like, you feel like trapped us just playing those songs.
I'd say like Henrietta as well, though. That was like early day stuff, wasn't it? That like has always stuck, like those types, like even like the Killers, Mr. Brightside, and Henrietta and stuff. Like those songs have always sort of stayed throughout somehow, and like people still know them and love them. Yeah, it's mad, like.
Do you know the way you mentioned like Sam Fender since like lockdown? Have you had any other songs which are constantly getting requests since like
sort of since
lockdown? Declan McKenna gets asked for a lot these days. Like those two a lot. Just before lockdown, we're getting loads of like Jerry Cinnamon requests. And still sort of do, but I think like he was riding proper wave, wasn't he? Like all these festivals and that.
Quite a few more like Blossoms and stuff. So sort of. After lockdown, they're always popular, like, but after lockdown we got quite a few Blossoms like requests and that. We're also thinking of maybe like doing a Blossom special as well at some point soon. Like, so
that's a shout.
We got that one there.
How many times have you seen Blossoms?
About 8 or something.
Oh, nice.
First few times this year, like.
Park one.
Yeah, it's belt away.
Oh, you know.
Love belted out, doesn't it?
Dude, it looked amazing, like, yeah. My little brother went, so young and all that, like, yeah, we should do. Yeah, we were hoping to get invited, to be honest, but we never get asked.
Got lost in the post.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you know, just done a few sit-down ones, didn't you? How did you just find that then, compared to
weird to begin with?
Yeah.
Like, we just thought, how's this gonna work? But in the end, there were like people who had been there who had just never been, because like they were sort of fresh as a guest, because it was like September, wasn't
shit,
it?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so never been to a shit indie, but we're coming, our first one's going to be a sit down.
Yeah.
So we like sort of had to explain to them, like, it isn't always like sit down, by the way. Like, in case they just came and thought, like, it's a bit sort of tame in here, really, like, why is no one dancing? Or, but it went off, like, it was
did,
good,
yeah.
like, everyone singing and stuff like that, even though, were you allowed to sing at the time? That's still against the rules or something.
We're going to get fined now for that. There was absolutely no singing. But the thing is, with the sit-downs as well, like, people were saying, like, we almost were saying, like, it's not going to be good, by the way, like, it's not going to be great. Like, I think our copy was like, this won't be a real shit indie, you know what I mean? Just so people knew what it was like. But I'd say some freshers came, and like, we did like a bit of an interview with Sarah, like a girl from, and she was saying, like, oh, it was like my best night out of the year, but she hadn't been to any other nights, you know what I mean, like, apart from sit-downs. So yeah, it was just strange.
How
like,
many
but
did you do? It wasn't that many.
was it?
Did you ever have to serve food in them?
No, we didn't.
No,
Yeah. Sort of lost track of the different tiers that we were in during that time.
Yeah. We didn't have to do
never
like the
have to
Scotch
do
egg
the
or anything like that.
Leave it on the table, police walking.
Don't think anyone would trust a Cindy Scotch egg, like, you know what I mean?
Remember that when you used to have to nibble like your food for about 4 hours to have a few more pints?
Yeah.
Do you know the first one back fully? That was like, I'd say like late June or something like that. How did you find that? Were you nervous for it or anything? Or just buzzing?
I think like as well, because we hadn't done nothing for, because we just sort of quite used to doing every Thursday, and then obviously when we couldn't do it for like a year and a half or whatever, and then that first one back was like we hadn't been paid the whole pandemic, like we were skint, like the company was sort of on its arse, like, and we'd been pushed back like another month, hadn't we? Yeah. And we were just like, there's a lot riding on this one almost, and like the rest of the year sort of riding on this one.
Who weren't going to be in uni and stuff, they must have just gone home, and we thought if this gets pushed back again, then everyone will just be asking for a refund, and we'll probably never get a chance to like.
Your heads must have been up the wall.
It was.
You probably didn't know what tier or whatever you're going to be in from one week to the next.
Yeah, proper felt like that.
Yeah.
So is your job as a shit indie then?
It is now,
Yeah.
It feels weird to say, but it's.
But I'll show them draws as well.
So
you know, all the drawings on the
yeah,
posters, like there it is as well.
I was going to ask about that later. Saying when did all that start with all the posters and that?
Yeah, I've done that sort of before, shit indie, just like drawing, and Nick was like, sort of add them to the posters.
But he's too modest, you know what I mean? Like, so he's done like, he does like Baddies on footballers, Baddies on models, Baddies on DJs. So he's been doing all of them. And then he drew Liam and Noel. And I was like, you should put them on the poster. He was like, nah, I don't want my drawings on them. I was like, do it, you know.
I just didn't think anyone would like them.
You stand out them, you know.
Nice one,
yeah,
nice one.
And they catch the eye, don't they?
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, they're like, Liam and Noel are sort of iconic enough to put on a poster, but like I was thinking of maybe like the Blossoms or something, but I was thinking like I don't know how many people know sort of what each band member looks like. I don't know,
especially
maybe like as well.
Like,
I've done like
the Beatles one.
I've done the Beatles as well. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, we did like a Beatles special as well back in Arts Club. That was alright as well. But yeah, so did Beatles sort of.
Didn't you go the Beatles special? I'm sure you did, you know, because I couldn't go.
Maybe it wasn't too
Kitchen
memorable.
Street,
Was the one in Hampton
Kitchen Street and Cameron Fairness as well.
Yeah, I think you went to
I do, yeah.
I think the Kitchen Street was for like our first birthday or something, wasn't it? Like,
I was dressed up, just walking down town, handing out flyers. Sergeant Pepper's outfit.
What's the next special you've got?
Booked in.
We've got
Artist this week.
Yeah.
And then after
that, just sort of thinking we're going to do on the second floor. We're doing a One Direction special, like, but you know we're not DJing now. Really,
Should we do like a Scouse 90s night where it's like Shaq, the Lars, and Cast?
It'd be boss, to be honest. Loads like that.
We get quite a lot of requests as well for those sorts of bands. We just never never really had confidence, I guess, to play it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, when we just got, like, Fratellis and that, it's maybe, like, 12 o'clock till, like, 1, we just started playing, like, those classics and the goes out. You think, like, have we got time now to put it on? And, you know, any of them songs, it's just, like...
There's like a student night as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like students coming from the bar, like, I think.
We're just weird.
How did you just find it? You do like a Zoom one?
We did actually, a few Zoom ones, they were just... Well, to be honest, it was more like, it takes you back almost. Block these out of your memory.
It was just like those first Thursdays running, it was just like nothing was happening, we were stuck in the house. So we were just like...
10 songs yesterday, that was it.
Just giving something people, us a bit, something to do, and an excuse to have a bevy on a Thursday, and anyone else.
And then we did a few like Zoom quizzes really, but it was just like, we called it just like a Zoom music quiz. It was just give a chance to us to make like 30 seconds of each song. And people just had to like the song. Everyone just getting pissed, like.
Honestly, for each one of the quiz ones that we did on Zoom, like, don't remember the end, do we? It was just like, just started smashing the wine. And we went on till about 3 o'clock in the end.
I've seen that, like, it's not just Liverpool either, is it? You've done, like, events everywhere else.
Did London. Not too long actually after our first Liverpool one, so we didn't know what we were doing. Like, went down, it was just like someone just offered us a bar down there, and then like
we had like 2 mates down there who helped us, like, and
did Manchester as well, but probably about like 10 people showed up.
Surprising, Manchester.
Well, to be honest, in Manchester,
that night as well, we ran the flyers just around the corner there, but.
I think in Manchester we were going like, I can't believe like there isn't like a specific like Oasis night in Manchester, and we were doing an Oasis special for it, and then there was like next door to where we would put it on, like the longest running Oasis disco or something, so we're like, alright, we messed that one up, didn't we? Like, stick to what you know sometimes.
We were quite lazy as well, even promoting it in Manchester. We went up to hand out flyers, and then like we just end up, we were planning to do it and just started into like some bar, had a bit of like something to eat, and then we just had like a few more babies, and we're like, just get the train back. We just had like a stack of posters, so it was partly half all day. Any other places that we've done? We've done.
It was in Blackpool.
The Blackpool one, like that wasn't us running it. It was like a mate that sort of ran on our behalf in Blackpool. Do you know anyone that went? Do you know anyone that went to Blackpool one? Or
I remember I was looking for tickets for one of the Liverpool ones.
As I say, we didn't do it. I went in Blackpool.
Not yet, no.
It was sort of our mate asked us if we could take that one, like, but
almost like franchising it out, you know.
Just got the poster off us, didn't it?
How did you both first get into music then?
I think like when you're saying about the Beatles specials, like I think it was like just back in the day, like our dad just like, he used to love records, he loved music and that, and he still like I say, he still gives us a lift in and out, like, so he's just always been into it and like loves it. So like early day, like he just always played the Beatles tours and stuff, and he was just always on in the house. So I think that sort of just like got us into music and that, and then it was just always like music growing up, and then we sort of hit an age probably on teens when like it was more like dance music and stuff, and then sort of back into bands after that stage, but still always being into bands and that.
Sort of like, as we were able to like start going out and stuff, that's when like the Art of Monkeys started like coming. Well, Art of Monkeys, everyone was like, listen to this band, lad, they're called the Art of Monkeys. We had like a band CD, this like, what's the band in the car? Like, listen to them, and like, they're good. And then someone said they're playing in the O2, like the academy in town.
Arctic,
and then Carover as well, the old Carover like that used to be, you know, where Black Rabbit is.
To be honest, didn't even go. Didn't even get
tickets, because we like tickets, we just go like that. Like,
at that time, loads of like good guitar sort of bands started like springing up, just as like we were able to start getting everything done, and sort of just started then getting into like indie and stuff. But then almost like grew out of indie, and then started listening to like just all this stuff really, and then got to an age where like, actually that stuff we used to listen to was alright, and then sort of just reminisced about it.
Who's both your favourite bands?
Do you know what? I'd still say the Arctic first. You know, maybe the Beatles. That's, you know,
Beatles is a good shout. And even like, you know, just because like we sort of grew up alongside, like I still do love Oasis, so like I do love putting Oasis specials on and that, you know what I mean? It might sound a bit cliched, but like an indie sitting just going to say Arctics and Oasis, but like they sort of wear like boss bands growing up sort of thing.
I think Oasis are both our favourites.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you say,
Oasis,
Oasis? Yeah.
Someone answer
Yeah.
for you, like, but
Nah, I do agree with you there.
What do you think? Any chance of a reunion?
Nah, I don't see.
No.
After Liam selling out Nebway for the
Yeah.
2 nights this
No.
year, it's like,
Yeah.
and the Etihad as well, it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like what more could Oasis
No,
do?
exactly. Have you got tickets? Are you going?
Yeah, I'm
nice
going.
one. Boss.
Yeah, we're going to Saturday on Nebway, and I'm
Oh.
going Manchester as well. Yeah, Etihad. So I just thought to myself, I've got to do both.
Yeah.
My bank account weren't happy, like, oh, do you know
Just
what I
take
mean?
it, yeah, you got to do
Gotta
it.
take the risk, haven't
Yeah.
you? Do you know what I mean?
We went to see, it was Oasis years ago in Birmingham, but literally, like, say you were the stage, like, this is where we were sat, like, at the back row, like, that far away, and then we saw them in the Etihad a few years, or like a year after that or whatever, which was boss, like, we were standing for that.
is that one the barrier, bro?
Yeah, it was, yeah, they stopped
Yeah.
the show for a little bit, didn't they, yeah, and just said, can everyone step back and shout it out?
I've watched that one on YouTube about a
Yeah.
million times. Like,
Liam's got his red leather jacket on.
open with turn up the sun.
Yeah.
But I watched that one loads, mate.
Yeah, boss, all that, like.
What just both say your favourite, top 3 favourite songs by a Liverpool artist is?
Oh,
That's a good question.
yeah. He's saying, like,
He classed the
old
Beatles
school,
as
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, any
yeah. Yeah.
You know, the laws, I know, there she goes, is
Yeah.
maybe a bit sort of like cliched or whatever, as like, because we try and play that quite a bit in the chit indie, but I do love that song.
Yeah,
I
it's
really like it,
awesome,
yeah.
What would you say your favourite Beatles song is? It is, isn't it? Yeah.
You'd have to go for every album.
Yeah. I always like how one news she's so heavy. Like, I remember playing that in Kitchen Street, and it was just like, I was thinking, like, you're never going to be able to play that in a night, and like, just having like the whole crowd just singing along
It's a
to it.
heavy
Like,
song.
it is,
It's not just
yeah.
one you throw on.
And all
Yeah.
You've got to appreciate that song.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
I was listening to like a radio show just this week of like nothing but Beatles covers for
Yeah.
like 2 hours, and it was just great sort of just the stuff they came up with really, and it just like still carries on to this day as
Have you
well.
watched
Like,
the documentary?
still haven't seen it, no embarrassingly. Have you?
Is
Is it not?
Is it not?
I said
No.
this on the last podcast as well.
See, I thought it was alright, mate. I like sort of appreciated it for what it was, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you watch it in
Yeah.
one go almost, or like cut it down into
Into a few episodes,
hours?
yeah, a few different days. Like,
Yeah,
Each
that's
one-
what-
each
yeah.
one's about 3 hours long,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like,
Yeah, I was saying that.
I thought it was going to be like narrated.
Right,
But it's,
okay.
yeah.
it's just them. It's like them watching people being filmed, isn't it?
Is
Yeah,
that what it
right.
is? Okay.
Some parts are boss.
yeah,
Then you see like
yeah.
Paul McCartney make songs in his
Like,
head just
oh,
there and then. It's like, wow. But
How,
I can never get my head around that, like, just watching people make up
Yeah.
songs. Like,
I don't see them as real people, the Beatles.
know,
You know?
yeah.
They're like these
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
aliens. or
magicians
something, like-
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true
I
that.
was saying to someone the other day that I don't really like Maxwell Silver Hammer
Mm.
as a song, but I think in the film is there like a 10-minute sort of segment where they're
Yeah.
just sort of talking about that, and someone was saying after seeing that bit in the film, like I've got a whole new respect
Yeah.
for that song and how it sort of came to be. or
Who's your
whatever,
favourite
but, like,
Beatles?
Oh, you know, I was
You know
racking.
what?
George, the
Yeah.
one,
Yeah,
George,
I think he's
yeah,
my favourite,
yeah.
like,
Yeah. I was racking McCartney still gets a bit of a hard time as well, to be honest. Like, maybe because he's still alive and, you know, he's
Yeah.
old enough to become a little bit uncool and just setting embarrassing tweets out and stuff. Like, but when you look at, like, his work, there's no sort of denying him, like.
What about you two? Are you saying?
I used to be a big John Lennon. Like, I still am
Yeah.
a big
Yeah.
John Lennon
Yeah.
fan. When we were but George Harrison's.
Yeah, yeah. Have you
What's
watched the
that,
George
All Things
documentary?
Must- No, I
Yeah,
haven't.
Odds Boss, you know, yeah. When we went to watch it in the Factor night, there was a lady there, I don't know if she knew him or what, but like she went and laid like a wreath down at the front and like it just added like a bit of like
Yeah.
magic or something to like the screening, and yeah, it's Boss the film, and again he just comes across so nice and just like really kind and loving, and yeah. again just like walking around his garden just playing his guitar and stuff, and
That All Things
Yeah.
Must Pass album. I think that's the best like individual Beatles album.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no, love them like.
Bit of a rude question, is
yeah,
right?
go
Which one of you is the older brother?
That's me.
Yeah.
We're all twins, so like only by 7
Yeah.
minutes.
Oh,
Yeah,
are
7
you?
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're 7 minutes older.
7 minutes older.
Wow, that's mad,
He's
like,
7 minutes. Yeah.
Who
Who would you have said the oldest?
Oh, I don't know.
See,
Yeah,
I've got time to work, you know. I'm not offending no one.
Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, but we are twins, like, yeah. So that's...
Like, sometimes, by the way, like, people don't even know we're brothers. And then, like, oh, brothers,
Yeah, you reckon, yeah.
Oh, we got twins, even, like, oh, yeah. Some people just instantly assume that we're twins. Like, yeah, of course you're twins, but yeah.
It's hard working together because you're brothers.
Yeah, but also at the same time, like, quite easy because we can have big arguments. And by the time we drive to town, we fell out even this time last week. Not properly, but it was just like small, like, yeah, he came up with an idea. And I was like, nah, I don't like that. But he was like, I'm going to run with them. I don't. And then he did. So, like, I sort of wasn't talking to him. I wasn't talking, but, you know, old enough not to know.
I know as well.
And then but by the time we got to town, he was like, stop talking, come on. I was like, oh, yeah, fine, you know. So it's good that we can just argue and by the fall out, but because we are brothers, we'll just be mates again.
Yeah, can argue the next day, it's like, do you want to go for a walk? Yeah, right, son. Just sort of don't mention it, you know what I mean? Whereas if it was your mate or whatever, you might have to second say like sorry, but you'd never say sorry. Never apologise. It's like, but there was one time he was in art club when I think I had him on my shoulder and he fell off and we had this massive argument and we were just going, and he was like, it's over, like sitting, he's done. And we had everyone just messing like, is it true? Is it over? Is it done? Like, and we were like, we had to put like a statement out like, contrary to like rumours from last night, sitting in this go, we'll be here next week sort of thing. Yeah, it was like,
I think we were almost arguing on stage as well, so everyone was like looking up and we just like shouting in each other's faces.
Do I even know?
Do you know what would be a cracking publicity stunt before one night? Just film just fighting with each other and then put all last shit in the ever.
It could be a show that, yeah, the last in the ever could work, like, yeah.
This year we were getting a few people messaging though, like, for some reason going, I've heard this is going to be like the last shit in, is that right? Like, no, where did that come from? I don't know. Yeah, we weren't sure whether it was like another night sort of spreading it around or something, or maybe like the venues, their way of letting us know that like it's over and they want to get someone else in, but like, yeah, I don't know.
What do you think made you different from other indie nights? Because there must have been loads of people that have done that. But I go to Union Ormskirk and people from all over the place, they know what shit indie is.
You know what, it's still, to be honest, I still don't really feel that, like, it's a big night. It still feels to us that we're still sort of two guys that don't really know what we're doing. So when people do say, like, oh yeah, you know, I've got mates elsewhere who know about it, like, it still feels slightly silly, I think, anyway. It doesn't feel like...
The crowd have just always been boss, haven't they? Like, it's always been like a boss crowd, whether it was Art Club downstairs, Kitchen Street early on, if there was like 20 people in, they were still like always dead nice. And if there's like 500, 1,000 people in, they still always seem dead nice. And people always say, like, people who come say, but like bar staff and like security and that always say to us, like, you've got a nice crowd that come, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know, and there's always just been like an element of fun.
Probably
like,
nothing that we can take credit for there. It's just like the control of the crowd, really, that just come along to like these nights.
It should be good that it's popular with students, because then every year you're getting like a new influx of people and they will tell their mates from home, and when you visit they're going to go, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's feel quite lucky in that way, like, sort of when we started doing it for our mates to begin with, or just like, you know, slightly older crowd, they were the types that would go out, come to the next one a month later, but then by the time the third one came along, like, they couldn't get a night off because they had to look after the kid or whatever. Like, a lot of our mates have now got kids and the dads or mums.
If we tried to put an indie night on for our mates now, like, there's absolutely no way you get them out because they've all got kids. Ours as well, more responsibilities, like, so.
Whereas, students just seem to be out every night of the week, nearly, don't they?
How many, do you know like the little hut which is off, that I'll call it? How many are there of yous in there, like party or like team on a night?
Like, do you mean like other DJs and like staff and all that? There's a lot, you know. Like, it's weird because it's sort of, we've got like probably sort of two people who like who you'd sort of call like our managers, if like event managers, so they're up and down. Then like we've got like sort of like we've got probably 2 or 3 people doing the lights on like other floors. Then we've got a mate who do DJs with us. Then we've got like we've got
photographers.
Photographer comes in. Then we've got people like, got 2 people scanning in. Then we've got
like
someone stamping.
Like
So, yeah, they've probably got about 20 people sort of now, like, which has gone like quite a long way from like us with like having a few pound coins in a tin, not knowing what we were doing, like, which we still don't know what we're doing, but yeah,
it's just sort of going like that. It's never been just sort of people just messing, sometimes just going like, if you've got any jobs going, you're like, actually, can you come down tonight and break the door? Yeah, fine, like, and then they've just sort of become part of the team, and it's just like growing like that.
Yeah, and the same with Ad, who does, we were off like in January, and like Ad was like doing like the main DJing, and now with our mate Benji, but Ad just came and he was holding a sign for us like 2 freshes ago, you know what I mean, and then he just helped behind, so it just sort of grows like that, really, doesn't it? We've never really had to interview anyone, which we couldn't do really. We're not that serious, like, you know what I mean?
Sometimes someone just, I think they're obviously saying a joke, and you've got to go like, all right, boss, like, you say, can you just do that for us? Yeah, fine, boss, and you're like, please do not call me boss, like, I'm not a manager, and I'm not cut out to deal with like telling people what to do or anything.
It's about that, you know.
Have you ever had like what's the most high profile person you've seen in Cindy? Where your head just fell off?
What's the guy from Bell and Sebastian did walk past one time, and he took a photograph of like the photo or the poster, outside, and he said like, I wonder if I'd be allowed to come in to like sit in the disco.
We have a few people liking there and stuff, but we've had Gemma Kenny from Radio 1 who's been a few once or twice. Johnny Bongo as well, because we are just mates with Johnny Bongo, and it seems weird saying Johnny because we've been his mate for ages, but then you're like, actually he's like almost a national star these days. So yeah, Johnny's been.
Sometimes there is like people playing on a Thursday, say for example, I think Jerry Cinnamon was playing, we'll just send them a DM, no one's ever got back to us, and so by the way, Jerry, if you fancy coming, put you on guest list, and like,
that, you know?
I always think it'd be nice if he just like came along and had a bevy, but yeah, no one too famous that I can think of.
Not that we at the time we were sort of shocked with, and that like, sometimes it's a bit mad people who've like, again, like Sean and Sean from Courting, both like worked with us for a bit, like they were like holding the signs for us, and now like they're like out touring with sports team and not on their own sort of thing, and it's like, I used to work with them, but you know, they were just Sean and Sean at the time, like, so I think that bit, like, we've never had any massive names come down afterwards or whatever, despite us offering, people are always welcome, like, but you know, don't think anyone wants to.
Yeah, it must be good for you when there's like, I think I've been after like a Cortina's gig, say there's a gig on, it must be boss views, just like get fans of that band coming down and that.
It's always been handy that, hasn't it?
Sometimes if like they've been on, we got quite lucky once. I was like, I think we got Liam Gallagher playing on a Thursday, and then the following week I think Jerry Cinnamon was playing on the Thursday, and then someone after maybe it was like the Wombats playing on a Thursday. So we got lucky in that way, in that sense, like, and everyone coming down afterwards.
Yeah, it's boss stuff like that, like especially like because I think we went to Liam Gallagher's on the Thursday. And like having something like that afterwards, it's like, you know what I mean?
It's so
much going there.
I think I was too sick, you know. Yeah, I was in a bad way. That's being a shit house.
Did you have too much to drink at the Liam Gallagher show?
That's terrible.
I think we went out dead.
It's one of them, he always slates me, right, because whenever there's a gig on, I'm like, do you want to go over 2:30? And then you peak too early before the gig. You don't remember the gig, and then...
Absolutely, like, there's so many like that. All we say about the Sonos, like a number of, we've been like, twice, I think, right? And the 2 times don't remember it. The first time don't remember it. The second time was like, I'm definitely gonna remember this. Went down to London for it, and I remember them coming out and then being on the tube home. I'm just like, I do not remember a single thing from that, like, but it's another one.
Was that at Wembley, was it?
Yeah. Did you go?
It absolutely kills me that we never got to see them, you know, because I think we were still in school.
A little bit late, didn't we?
Yeah, 16 we was. We're like, if they got back together like 2 years later, it's like, because I can't see them ever doing anything again, mate. I think it's done now, mate.
Feels like that,
He's gone mad. Ian Brown,
mad.
See the video of him with the nunchuck?
Recently?
He was like,
He's doing all these moves.
Was this like his anti-lockdown protest, or? He is, isn't he?
That's a song taken down off Spotify, didn't he?
Did he?
He's writing on Twitter like it was about COVID or something, and it got taken down off Spotify. He was fuming. I reckon he'd be a right laugh, me, though. So it's have a baby with her, and your head will just fall off.
You know,
Have you ever done a Stone Roses special?
Yeah, done a few of them.
Alright, maybe a few years ago better. Like, in the last few years, as we've even playing like Stone Roses songs, they've had like less of a reaction. I don't know if, like, for whatever reason, students these days don't seem as much into them for whatever reason that is. We always used to do it like on the day before Good Friday, just because of the like I'm the resurrection. Like Stone Roses.
What would you say the most like popular night is then?
Probably Arctic Monkeys, you know, like never done an Arctics, like they have always been.
I think just like especially students and stuff, I've grown up with them, like particularly sort of a lot of students hit them like at the AM stage and things like that, and they're still going obviously and still releasing music and stuff. It just always lasted like really well, haven't they? But like we've done other ones. Like I remember early days we did a Smiths one and that was boss like, and then we did it like 2 years later at Arts Club, and half the crowd were loving it, and the other crowd were just like, what's this? You know what I mean? So
people don't like Morrissey.
That's the other thing. So now we're just like, we're not doing. Yeah, that's the other one. Yeah, he's just a pain in the arse, isn't he? You know what I mean? He is. That's the thing. Like,
What would you say is the oldest person you've seen at shit indie?
We've had people like bring the mums and dads and stuff like like quite a few, and we've had people like we've had someone held a sign up saying like Miss Simo is fit or whatever, and then they tagged her, she's found it, and now she always comments and she's always saying, will I get free entry if I come? And it's someone's mum, we're like, yeah, definitely, you know what I mean?
Well, sometimes people think like they're 25 or something, they think they're old being into indie, and then we're like, honestly, like, you're not old compared to
like it's so, because it was always just any age as well, come on, and then now it is a bit more studenty, but like, I think especially after the Liam Gallagher gigs and things like that, like, and
like
after
if there's a bank holiday the next day or something, then it's a bit of an older crowd as well. Like people are off.
Do you ever do it on like a Saturday instead?
We never as well as even. But when we started, it was always on a Saturday.
Something that was sort of almost like
that probably bring a different crowd, wouldn't it?
I think so. It'd be a good one to do there.
Yeah, it was. Just as I say, just a different crowd, really, Yes, it's
people like just people can't get that Friday off, really. They want to go out and listen to that music, but like, where else is there in town at the minute? So, to be honest, I haven't really been to town for a while since.
We got a few people messing them like where else playing in I'm like, I don't know. To be honest, we do Thursdays and like that.
Like we tend to go like Mojos, don't we? On Saturday, that's a bit more like
it's a bar.
It's
not a nightclub.
It feels like that. Yeah, you sort of get around your booze and that, don't you? And then
and it's expensive as well.
That's the other thing. Exactly. Yeah, it's about £5 a bottle or something.
We had like a bit of a shit indie night out around Christmas, and we ended up there, to be honest with you. And about 10 of us ended up getting like escorted out. just being a long day, like just like people
escorted out to being drunk.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was just like people falling asleep. It's just like
I choose to fight on over the next shit indie, I reckon. You've got any like big plans then for like the next like year or so with shit indie?
Do you know what? It's almost just one of them. Like we just sort of like take it as it comes without ever having like a plan. Like it seems to work all right for us without ever sort of. But like, we're just looking at festivals and stuff, really, if like anyone wants to.
I've seen a few comments on the neighbourhood festival.
Like a silent shit indie disco.
A silent, good idea.
Good. Yeah, definitely. You know, a few different channels and that.
I'm shocked that you've never been asked by like, do you know, Leeds, because they have like a silent disco on there. Like, I can remember like first year we went, it was like 17. The tunes were great there. Like, you would have done a much better job doing that. Do you know what I mean?
And we'll do a better job interviewing people that are done as well.
I'm surprised at that.
There's a night there, or like, have you been to Glasgow? There's like there's a tent there on the Thursday, and it's pretty much every year. I always has been called Baggy Mondays, and they just sort of play like old Oasis and mainly a bit more 90s stuff, I guess, more than like naughty stuff. And like everyone just goes there on like the Thursday, and it's like this great atmosphere in like a tent. And people have always said to us, you should do something similar, but like a bit more naughties. Like it'd go off in that tent after they've been on even. But like Glasgow never has. Someone did get in touch and say their granddad was Michael Eavis from Glasgow, but he said it on, he gave him guessed it, so he said I'll speak to Emily, and I went, oh, does she work there? He went, oh, Emily's my auntie, Michael's my granddad. We were going, oh, alright, sound, do you reckon you can get us in? So never like,
that's definitely been someone boozed
I've seen no luck at that, no luck at on the hope of getting Grandad Eavis to players, but no, never has.
Batter and neighbourhood though, everything.
Yeah, I've seen that on every one of their posts.
So yeah, you know, it'd just be quite sad, you know, it could be quite funny.
We did one over in Leeso Castle. That was like the Mysteries played there as well. It was like what was it called? Skeleton Coast,
yeah.
Skeleton Coast. So like we just did like
in the middle.
In the middle, yeah.
Pointing like the Whittle.
Was the Coral headliner or Miles Kane?
There was
Kane,
Red Room. Just had like a small little room.
Mysteries were on, Monks were on.
Yeah, and then we did like a bit of an after party at the end.
Yeah.
Like that we just sort of like DJ'd or whatever. And that was when the Monks came back to ours.
Yeah.
That was good though.
Done Sound City as well, didn't we? Like one year, but yeah, nothing like Leeds or whatever. And
are you doing it this year, Sound City?
I don't know about this year. No, I'm not sure. They asked us last year, but like on the weekend off or whatever, and we were away or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's still good. Sound City anyway. Like it's
yeah,
we went this year.
Yeah,
good. Like it's back around the city as well, wasn't it? This year,
Grand
like
Central Hall was like the main stage.
Right, okay,
that's the best bar in the world. Like selection,
yeah, good. That.
It was the Saturday. It was Red Room. Jamie Webster.
Oh, boss.
Mysteries.
Monks.
Yeah.
Mysteries. And Mason Owens as well. There's proper like boss day, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It always used to be, didn't it? It was class around town and that. Yeah.
Is there any songs which you get requested which you're just like, I'm not playing that? Is there like any specific songs?
Yeah, like Everton Liverpool songs.
Everton, that we tend to stick away from.
Well, the same, you play
from, like...
Played You Never Walk Alone, you see me
like...
Turning me back.
Even like James said down, we can't really play that much anymore these days because of stuff. Just sort of causes a bit of trouble, I suppose, like if we played it. You know, we get asked, like, because it's all right now because we've got floor 2, but like in the arts club and stuff, when it was like R4 pretty much, you just get like people coming and going like, can you play Rihanna? And be like, I'm not really, and be like, can you play? We should have, to be honest, we should have said get out, but instead you just had the maskers all night, and we were saying no, we were like we can't really, like when an indie night, you know what I mean? Like nobody else here wants to hear Rihanna like you do, nobody else does, and I think that's hard to get across to people sometimes, that like, there's like another like 500 people in this room.
Do you get people kicking off, do you? Like, to imagine it, like...
We did one at Boxing Night, and we played the DMAs. It is DMAs, isn't it? The cover of Cher.
Oh,
yeah.
Believe.
This lad, I think he thought that we were playing Cher, because he probably hadn't heard the DMAs, and he just came out, he was just saying for like, while we played the entire song, like, you've ruined this night. You're doing all right, and you've ruined it. What are you playing like?
Even if it is by Cher, that's a
well, I did write once. I wrote a sign saying Cher's boss, and someone came over to me and went, it's DMA's that lad, and I was like, oh, right, sound.
And then after that, we went in with the Stone Rose, and he came back and he was like, you've rescued the night.
Some girl came over once and was like, can I have gin and pink lemonade, please? And I was like, oh, who's that by? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I don't think we've got it. And I was looking and trying to find this song, and she was dead insistent that we play it. And I was like, sorry. And she came back a bit later and was like, can I have a gin and pink lemonade? Like, who's it by? And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, who sings it? And she was like, no, like the drink. And I was like, this is the DJ booth thing, you know, the bar's over there, like. So yeah, so we didn't play that for it either. But yeah.
Have you ever like put a really shit song on and went, I ever just put that on straight away?
It's happened a few times.
Yeah. Which again, quite often that's where our arguments come quite
a bit. Which you put on and straight away you went,
straight away, almost like
there will have been loads, like, but they sort of tend to get taken out of the playlist straight away and forgotten ever since.
The Rat by the Walkmen. Have you ever heard that song? Like,
Nah, I'm not.
it was always played like week in, week out in Taylor Battle. So like anyone that comes sort of our age goes like play that, yeah, and we go like, yeah, go ahead, put it on, just see if anyone knows it, because like it was like a certified it's almost like, you know, yeah. And like sometimes we'll just go ahead, give it a go, and like it always just falls flat. So we don't even bother anymore. But, yeah, like
always like sad, really, like sad. Like block parties a bit the same these days as well. Like everyone back in the day used to love block partying. It seems mad that like say Henrietta's survived, but certain block party songs haven't.
I only know 2 block party songs, mate. Was it Banquet? Is it?
Banquet,
they're called Helicopter.
Yeah.
They're the two you play, to be honest.
They're the only 2 I know. Block party, mate.
Yeah, it's they're both bangers, you know what I mean?
That entire album, like, used to just get played all the time. Like, so it's just like mad that they haven't sort of continue to be played.
You decide what every floor plays?
No, we just let the other DJ sort of do their own thing, really.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes we'll just ask, like, floor 2 DJ, like, hey, do you want to play? Well, we said, can you play Taylor Swift all too well? Because we kept on getting asked for it over and over again. And he was like, I'm not playing this 10-minute version of that, like, no way. And he played and he said, like, it cleared his dance floor. So we just asked the disco DJ to put it on. And it went off then all. Like,
it's built its following now and there. But
yeah, to begin with, he was just like, no, I'm not playing. So sometimes we'll ask, but at the end of the day, we still give him, like, free rein to play what he wants. And that, like, it's just...
Which one of the floors was it the other day where it was full on like going off? Like,
that
was on latest, like the rock emo room.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it went off.
And did you see the complaints as well? Someone saying,
it was on Live Confessions.
Like this Live Confessions going like that emo room. I like me emo, like metal, alt music, but everyone in there was pushing. Going, that is just being mosh pit, wasn't it? Like,
the music was too loud and everyone was pushing and it was too busy, and we were like,
or something.
That's a nightclub, you know, and that's particularly an emo nightclub, like. Yeah.
So we're doing that again this week anyway, because people like always ask if those songs and like say Panic at the Disco and stuff like that, and we're never really too sure about playing on like the indie floor. So we've started to just do like a little side room now, playing those sorts of songs. And just say to anyone to go upstairs and go in there, like, and last week seems to go alright.
So is it just like, do you know, like a Wednesday or something? Do you just make a big playlist, do you? And then that's just sort
of,
I mean, we move them around and decide, like, you know, sometimes it can be like, because sometimes the night gets like dead busy at, say, as soon as we open, but other times it might be like an hour or whatever. So again, just sort of working out how busy it is and whether, you know, if someone asks for a song and it's like, a request comes in and we might be playing it in like 10 songs, we'll put it on next for them and stuff like that.
We always used to have like a, if it's nice, we'll play it twice type policy. We didn't make that up, but but yeah, if people would come over and just say like, can you play whatever, maybe like not 19 Forever, and we'd be like, oh, we played it. But you know what, like everyone will still, you know, want to care, so we'll just play it again or whatever. Like, it's never too sort of like too bothered about, you know, protecting the playlist or anything.
Is it just Spotify? Is it the playlist? Yeah.
I don't know, even like 5 years we should have learned how to like mix all that.
It's alright because it's indie. We've got like the fade in and fade out are always quite short anyway, so we've got like a 12-second crossfade and it just fades in, whereas like
it does just mean as well we can get anything as well. We don't have to have like, you know, some people just playing off vinyl and stuff, like we sort of assume their selection's going to be like quite limited to what they can bring with them on vinyl, whereas we can let's see if there's something new that's just come out that day, like it's on Spotify.
You thought about putting a gig on?
Yeah, sort of. Haven't we? Like we did one with like Bidolito, was like us, Bidolito, and we sort of like, it was like we did a bit of an intro and then a few bands played after, and that it seemed to work quite well, didn't it? But
it did. Just seems like quite a few like Harvest Sun and Evil sort of have like good reputations in the city for putting bands on, and it just sort of seems like, and all the promoters as well, but like they sort of seem like the big ones at the moment. It's just a bit like let them do that, like, you know, they know what they're doing, like we don't, and we might just be a bit out of our depth putting it on, you know what I mean?
You put the gig on and everyone goes
that's the sort of thought about
I can remember once I emailed Jimmy's about trying to put a gig on there, and literally as soon as he got back to me, it just went to him, too much stress. Too much stress.
Did they come back with like, you need this, you need that?
No, they just gave me a load of dates, and all the days of the week were like Mondays and Tuesdays.
Who were you thinking of putting on? Was there a particular band?
I literally can't even remember.
I just sort of
good at messing around. So I was like, just give it a go, and then straight away I was like, I can't be doing this, you know.
We probably will try and do it, just when we've got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Like, we always have something to do that.
Yeah, you know, you boys start on this, like, you know what I mean? It's got stuck in with this and stuff, so, yeah, it's boss.
That is right.
Just go ahead and do it as well. That's sort of what we did. Like, never think like, because you've never put a gig on, we should just sort of learn everything there is and just like walk it in and just try and get something on.
It's just the thought of putting one on, like a bands or artists being there, and then no one's there.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
That still goes through, like, that still gives me like the fear week in, week out, even though if we've sold like quite a few tickets and I know people are turning up, if it's still quiet at like 10:30 and like, there's 3 people, I'm thinking like, no one's going to turn up tonight. It still scares me like every time that it's just going to be like that. And it has happened too, as I say, like the Manchester a few times, like Liverpool, it's being quiet and just like the night drags a bit more.
At least it's alright if it's just us two, whereas if you'd put a band on, you'd be going like, is this our fault? You know what I mean? Like,
how long have you been at Electric for?
It's been 3 years. We did like 1 year early, and then that's when the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And then sort of
it was just around this feet, wasn't it? Like, and then I'd say the pandemic. It was like the week before Paddy's Day we just said we couldn't do the Paddy's one just because
I
we
can remember that,
so being there for that long really, and just settled into it, like, you know, they sort of do like the lights and all that, a boss, and like they've sort of looked after us enough and stuff like that. So and
just even being able to offer like the first year we did, they were like 250 doubles, I think. So like people were like, you know, there were some people saying, are you going to go back to the arts club? And they were like, yeah, but arts club, like, they can't offer 250 doubles, and everyone's just like, you know, the cheap
arts club's
like,
expensive.
It was. That's too like
kill me off a few times. The bar's alright. It is limited. Like
Grand Central, is it?
That sounds Grand Central till.
Like that was the venue for Sound City. I've never seen a bar.
The selection of the bar.
They had Corona on draft. They had like Moretti on draft. Like they just had everything.
It's good that.
It's unbelievable. Like, but no, I can remember a few times I've been shit into and like the doubles, they just fucking kill you off because the cheap, you just neck them. And then when you've had like 4 in a space of like half an hour, you're going, oh, why have I done that? Room spinning and that. But just still finish on like Don't Look Back in Anger, like
pretty much. It's sometimes you think about mixing it up and trying something different, but we're just not sure whether you then get like people going, what are you gonna do?
Some way.
Have you ever changed it round to like something
sometimes
different?
when Juice and that comes on, or sometimes we'll just like miss like the cut off, you know, like Electric, because they'll go like, because you've got to get everyone out, you know what I mean? So it's like sort of missed it there or whatever, and you've got to just play something a bit shorter or whatever. But
like this lad brought his guitar the other week, and the first he was like, can I play it at the end? You're like, and at the end he came in and knocked him in. What are you? Oh yeah, sound. And went on the little stage and like singing along.
That's funny though.
It's funny, you know. Like we had nothing to plug it into for him or whatever, but he was just playing it like acoustic.
Was it not plugged in?
No, just going for it, just sort of leave it to sound, go for it if you want him, and he was like, yeah, I'm fine,
So is it shuts at 4, doesn't it?
4 o'clock, it's just like 4 a.m. 4 a.m.
gang. Like a few coca noodles and stuff out at 4 o'clock. Have some tea when they get back.
Go ahead. So, what song would you have for the national anthem if you could pick one?
Straight in. The national anthem, all right.
The Smiths, the Queen is dead.
To be honest. We do keep threatening to do Queen is Dead special when she dies, like, but our song keeps wrecking a load of royalists and end up bombing us or something like that. That's good sound, to be honest, to be honest, I reckon that if you had like Don't Look Back in Anger or something, you'd get like good response. Imagine that at the Olympics or something. But he's a little bit defeatist, like, you know, if everyone stood up and you're saying don't look back in anger.
What was you saying? Any good ones?
The answer we had from the lads when we had them on was Bittersweet Symphony.
Yeah.
I think that's like the answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fits the UK a bit as well, doesn't it? Like,
What would you have for like a Liverpool national anthem?
Liverpool one. Suppose it'd have to be like by a Liverpool band as well.
Beatles, Penny Lane. Or Yellow Submarine even, you know what I mean? Like, it's daft and it's stupid, but maybe the Beatles, Yellow Submarine, and just have it as like our national anthem. We do play it every now and again as well, and it still goes off. Like, you know, I was thinking, if you're thinking of the whole of Liverpool, like if you want to get your mums and your dads and everyone involved, I'd like to see it. Everyone just stood out on the streets giving it the Yellow Submarine.
Like, you know, no one can take Yellow Submarine too serious.
That's a good shout, that Yellow Submarine.
And I still haven't been on the Magical Mystery Tour, to be honest, and it always, every time it breaks me heart when I'm in the Aberdoch, I keep thinking I need to go on the Magical Mystery, like being on the yellow bus but not the Magical Mystery.
Remember the duck that used to have?
The duck? No, it sank, didn't it? Yeah.
People swimming back to
and I'm sure it was only a few weeks after the Queen had been on it, which imagine if she had a sank in the Liverpool docks, like.
So it was a shit and special.
Nice.
We have got the poster ready as well, actually, sort of on the side. Boris Johnson's leaving party, like, we keep on being like,
that's coming soon.
Gotta be coming soon.
Like, we've got the poster there, we just keep on changing the day, like the Thursday, so whatever it was, like a few weeks ago, I think it's got to be this week, Thursday, like, 3rd of Jan or whatever, and then it's like 7th of Jan or whatever, keep on going along, it's alright, it's got to be this week, alright, no, not this day.
He's going to be Prime Minister forever, you know.
It is, even like that. It doesn't seem like do anything.
I want this said on camera, mate, right? Just so. I reckon he's ended up on Armour Slip. You can fully see him on that, can't you? In the next 4 years or something.
Like, I'd make him do the bush to a trial.
The whole nation is voting him for all the trials, lads.
But we've had loads. We had the when Corbyn was looking like he was going to, and we was like, right, we're having a Corbyn victory party, and I'm sure all the right wingers saw it, and they were all buzzing off us, but we had it anyway, even though like
in Kitchen Street,
and then I think we were just buried them where they just going, well, we're still at our victory for the left because we took away May's majority. I think it was May's at the time, and she was crying and all that. But yeah, Boris just doesn't seem to be going anywhere, does he? Like, so.
Obviously, well, we did the night as well when Trump became president as well. We were just on in Kitchen Street.
Celebration or
not a celebration? No. We were thinking like, you know, we were thinking it might have been quite nice because about the time we finished, about 3 o'clock, I think it was going to be announced. Hillary's got a guy, got a little microphone ready, and it was like we just checking our phone, going like, no. Surely not.
Did
like
you
another
just have American songs on?
No, we didn't. It wasn't themed. It was just going to be like, I think maybe we had like a cutout of the the Statue of Liberty or something like that. That was it. And then just feeling depressed about 3 o'clock, going, oh my god, like 4 years it's Trump here, like this is weird. And then another
last year's Christmas party, or the pre-COVID Christmas party as well. That was another election night. When we were thinking, oh, maybe it might happen, and we'd heard the youth wave and all that, and we're like, yeah, Labour might do this. And then about 2-3 o'clock, it was like, fucking Tories have got a majority here, and then we were just trying our best just to not cry, basically, which I think we did.
Did you know when you put all their notes or did you get people giving you shit at anything?
Not really, to be honest with you. No, I think it probably works well being Liverpool.
Yeah.
And like, you know, just extremely sort of anti-Tory city where like we haven't really had much. I mean, we do know for a fact though there have been like people, Tories who've tried to have bought tickets and stuff like that, and I don't even know if they've turned up or whatever. And that you sometimes see it on, you like the live confessions, go like, I'm a Tory and I got into shit indie disco.
Oh, you see some mad shit on that.
They're never proud though when they get there. They never ask for signs or whatever. They keep it quiet, like.
And we're not strict enough to start asking for like everyone's
ballot.
can't carry in labour member, like.
What else? Find out, we'll try and kick them out or make them feel uncomfortable.
And it still applies, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, even when we got a bit bigger and everyone was like, you know, you're getting like freshers and stuff, like, should you be doing like no Tories? And we go like, no, we're keeping it no Tories, you know, like, we're proud that, we'll stick with that. Like, it makes the crowd nicer,
I've said, someone says, like, how come your crowd's, like, how come you get a nice crowd for the weekend? Someone said it probably maybe it's just because there are no Tories. They'll go elsewhere, like, so yeah, keep them in one place and we can have a load of left wingers and ours. Sound.
Left wing.
Do you know when you do it, just have a bevy and that, yeah?
Yeah, we do, yeah. I've cut down, but like back in the day, we used to get like really pissed and probably why we used to argue more. Like, it was just, because we weren't used to it most of the time, it's just nerves and it's just like, because we don't know what we're doing, playing on Spotify, just gonna get drunk and just like drink through it. We still have a bevy now.
It's still, we just get on like the Carlsberg now, because that's what they sell at Electric, whereas back in Kitchen Street days it was Red Stripe, so you're on like 5.5% lager or whatever.
Feel
so,
they
are
like just order another crate in and stuff and just like, but like it just feels as well, because there are like 3 or 4 floors and rooms these days, there's just more like responsibility, I guess. It's just like we can't get quite as drunk where we can't remember getting home and stuff. And,
but if you ask people who work with us, they won't, they'll probably go, nah, you're so a piss, like.
Do you know, because you like putting a night on, do you like, can you just go to the bar and get what you want, or is it like a ride or sort of thing?
Sort of, we bring our own to to just like a lot of crates and stuff, like
it's easier, isn't it? Well, we feel a bit cheeky asking for riders and that, so it's not really. If they offer it, like if people offer a rider, then probably take it, but most of them just bring our own.
Same like. Doing the one in Manchester, like they were like, what do you want on your rider, like any food or anything? We just like, I don't know, like, you know, they say we don't really feel like we're the guest or anything, just like a few cans.
Do you have a scran show then, like when you're on that shit indie or anything?
Tend to have a scran before, but then on Boxing Night, like, we were having like a scran as it opened, so everyone was asking for signs, and we're like, let's finish this 5 guys first, if you don't mind, just scranning this burger. So and sometimes we order like pizzas in and that, if it's whatever, for whatever reason, like if it's late or we're starving or whatever. So
sometimes like we put a little spread on for like some of the staff that work with us as well. A few little Marxies sandwiches.
He's very specific that it's a Marxies buffet, like.
You sure you left wing?
Hey, you might do whatever you're saying, you know.
What would you say your favourite pint is?
It's
always the biggest question.
It is, Don't like I know, give them a little shout out, but the Scotch by my mum and dad's like do a pint of Warsteiner and it's Boss, like it's just a lovely pint, and it seems like you can drink it almost all night, and your hangovers aren't that bad off it, but you do get pissed. Like
Spatting as well.
A few places
for like Spatting and stuff. Spatting, it was
I've never heard of either of these, you know.
Where even does it?
Like Spatting,
Crombacher pills on tap as well. I remember they used to be called now on Hope Street. The Pen Factory used to do Crombacher on tap, and that used to be a good beer as well.
Estrella sometimes, you know what I mean? Just a pint of Estrella. There's also another pub I also does Peroni on tap, and that's another one that just you have about 3 of them, and it seems to blow your head off.
What's yours?
We always say, I always say Peroni, but you've got into it lately, haven't you, lads?
Peroni the same.
Got me into it all Christmas,
Boss,
He used to like drink apple cider, so I used to feel like going up to the bar and have Peroni apple cider. And then it's always, we don't have none of that on draft. What bottles, John?
Bottles,
And then he's picking up the bottle back to the table. No, but
a little Guinness on a Sunday as well, you know what I mean? Like a pint of Guinness if it's a good one. Like, usually just if I need to take the edge off on a Sunday, I can't start the night on a Guinness. Like,
what about your favourite like spirit plus like mixer plus like soft drink?
You know what?
We always start like there's like this like mad like Italian spirit called like Fnep Branca, and it's like meant to be boss like hangovers and stuff, so we've always just got that in the freezer and ours, and we usually start like on a Thursday, we'll always have like a shot of that before we start or whatever, good luck or whatever.
It's not really a spirit to mix.
No, it's more a shot
really
like
any Spirits and mixes, to be honest with you, I would typically just stick to like pints or if came to it sometimes, like if I've had too much of beer, like just a vodka lemonade or something, you know.
Jaeger bombs as well. Once the Jaeger bombs come out,
like and I'll put spritz as well. I don't mind, to be honest with you.
Have a holiday drink.
Just takes me back to like, I don't know, we went to Primavera like a few years ago. To be fair, the artists were playing.
It was so good. There was just scousers everywhere, like
What are you saying for mixes and?
See, my girlfriend, she's probably got me into the rum, so I like cracking and coke me.
Well, to be honest, I think Electric were saying like rum and coke's like their biggest seller now. Used to be gin and tonics, or gin and lemonade, and it's rum now, it seems everyone's on the rum. Vodka coke,
See, I fucking associate going shit into with vodka lemonade, mate, you or not?
I always get vodka coke.
See, I've never ever get vodka lemonade anywhere else, but shit into there.
Do you get beers when you're in there, or?
Nah,
I can't beers on a night out.
To everyone, like.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's like when you get there, it's usually about 11 or something in it. And you're like, can't too heavy on your stomach.
It
is.
is.
Sometimes
You're right. Yeah, defo.
Any more questions?
No, that's...
No, we're all done.
Nice
one. Pleasure.
Where can the listeners find you as well?
That one. We're on Instagram. Shit in Disco.
Twitter. Shit in Disco. And now TikTok as well. TikTok as well, but we don't really know what we're doing on TikTok.
We've just started TikTok.
What's your TikTok?
What is it? At the 10 Pint Podcast.
We're just trying to learn it as we go along. And then any other social, we've got a website as well, but
we do have a Facebook where photos go, but you know, no one really uses Facebook anymore. But handy one just to last through the photos of the night. So
and also Electric every Thursday as well.
Get yourself down there. Good night out.
Nice one.
Thanks very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and if you didn't enjoy it, still like and subscribe. Thanks very much.
Cheers, fellas. Nice one.
Nice one.